listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a Doggy Dog World is brought to you by Pet Care RX, America's most affordable pet pharmacy. Pet Care RX offers the same meds as top vets, but with a savings up to 50%. And if you find a lower price on a certified EPA and FDA-approved medication, Pet Care RX will match that price. So go to petcarerx.com. Use promo code DOGWORLD10. DOGWORLD, the number 10, and receive $10 off orders of $50 or more.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, with my friends Petra Burke. Hello. And Kate Abbott.
How do?
And our 3 adult dogs are with us tonight. We've got Walter the Cockapoo and Gina the Rottweiler and Bashir. Four adult dogs. Bashir and Riker, 2 Aussies. None of the 3 of us brought our adolescence tonight. Because that's what we're going to talk about in this podcast is canine adolescence.
Oh my gosh.
And it can be a very challenging time of development. If you look at a natural situation for a wild canine, maybe a coyote, a wolf, an African Cape hunting dog, the puppy's with mom or mom and dad or mom and the pack, and he's cared for by mom or the pack, by the adult members. He's fed. He's protected from dangers. He's taught how to survive. He's taught to avoid snakes or how to catch a rabbit or whatever. But at some point, he's getting bigger. He's learned these skills and he starts testing and challenging. And at some point, he's encouraged to leave the pack. He goes off, forms his own pack, finds some others of his own kind, starts hunting on his own, and hopefully at some point reaches adulthood. That's the natural way. But when we domesticated dogs, we interfered with that. We brought dogs home at 8 to 10 weeks of age, when they would normally not leave mom or dad. And therefore, the dog is with the equivalent of adopted parents. And when he reaches the age where he would normally challenge mom or dad and leave home, hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's going to stay here. But that means he's challenging us. And challenge they do.
They do.
They do.
So take a break and listen to our advertisers talk for a minute, and we'll be right back to talk about some more adolescence and what it means to us.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
It's a Doggy Dog World is brought to you by Petco.com. Petco is a leading specialty retailer of premium pet food supplies and services, offering more than 10,000 high-quality pet-related products. Enter the code DOGGY10, DOGGY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at Petco.com.
There's a movement afoot, ShoeBuy.com. Join the millions of people who shop ShoeBuy.com's over 400 brands and 500,000 products. Order now and get free shipping and free return shipping. ShoeBuy.com, the world's greatest shoe store.
Walk your dog in style and comfort. Enter the code DOGGY, DOGGY, at checkout and get a 10% discount plus free shipping at ShoeBuy.com.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to petmeds.com/world, WORLD, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at petmeds.com.
Hello! I'm Deborah Wolf, and I'm inviting you to my animal party on Pet Life Radio. The dress code? Come as you are. Pajamas, a tux. You can even go naked like your pets. Unleash your party animal at my animal party. Guests you know from Animal Planet, TV, radio, the news, and bookstores will be joining me. And that's because after I won Best Pet Radio in America from the DWAA, I got my paw in the door and I met a lot of amazing people. And the best of the best are going to be coming to the party. They're coming to party with us. So join us at the animal party. Don't miss the party.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. Today we're talking about adolescence, and we've already talked about what it is and what it is with wild canines. So let's talk about it with our dogs.
I love talking about it in class, and one of the first questions I ask is how many people are parents of two-legged kids and have their kids hit yet or have already hit teenage years. I said, then you know what this is all about. And they shake their heads, and you get all sorts of different looks on the faces. Because every critter, whether two-legged or four-legged or furred or feathered, whatever, has to go through finding their own place in their own society.
And leaving mom and dad.
It's a necessary physical and emotional and mental process to work through.
Yeah. And most dogs reach it, well, there's a variety of ages when they can hit it.
Well, on the average, it's like 9 to 12 months, but,
Walter came out of the womb in teenage years.
Yeah, and Benji is at 9 months now, so he's full-blown into it. But then who was it? Riker was your first one that was extremely late, and I'll never forget that day because Liz thought she skidded by the adolescent stage.
Riker was such a good puppy, and I mean, he was good as a demo dog in class. He never got into trouble at home, and I was stupid by mouthing off. I said, Riker hasn't gone through adolescence. I was lucky I picked a good puppy. He's not going through adolescence. He hit 2 years of age and hit the wall.
Oh my gosh. I get to stand there and just laugh.
He hit the wall. So his was a little late. But you know, Archer's the same way.
Yeah, he is.
Archer is challenging more now at 2 than he did earlier.
Mm-hmm. It makes a little more sense with Archer because he went through so many homes before you got him.
Right. It was a little delayed.
His odometer got reset.
Yes. And he's not challenging badly.
No.
Right.
He doesn't chew up stuff in the house or anything like that. He doesn't dump the trash cans. What he's doing is little subtle ways like not holding his downstay well in the middle of class, crawling so that he can keep me in sight.
And he's got the benefit of 2 older, well-behaved, mature older brothers
who mash him at a heartbeat.
Who teach him right off. But yes, you will not do that around other dogs.
He body slammed Bashir the other day when they were out playing ball, and Bashir took him down so fast Archer's feet were flailing in the air. I heard the air coming out. Woof.
Just a reminder, don't get too big for your britches.
But basically what adolescence is the dog trying to assert his independence If he was with his mom and dad, it's saying, okay, I'm big enough, strong enough, smart enough, I have the skills to survive on my own. Obviously, in a domestic situation, we don't want them to go anywhere.
Right. Well, I'd say the majority of us stick it through, and if they started training, hopefully their trainers explained that this is going to happen, or if they did start training while in adolescence, the trainers would explain what they're in now. But then you've got the people. You and I went to the Humane Society many years ago, who they just figured, my dog gone bad. I'll go get another one. I'm going to turn this one into the shelter.
10 or 12 years ago, well, I've been saying 10 or 12 for a while, maybe 15 years ago, one of the dog training organizations was interested in the statistics about adolescents and asked members nationwide to go to the shelters in their area and just simply jot down the ages and the sex of the dogs that were given up by their owners, no matter what the reason. Because, unfortunately, a lot of times people feel guilty and they lie.
Yep.
So, we male, female, male neutered, male intact, female spayed, female intact, and the age. Mm-hmm. Overwhelmingly, the ages of the dogs given up by their owners was between 9 and 12 months of age, more towards the 9 months than the 12 months, and more males than females, and more intact males than neutered males. Mm-hmm. So the intact males between 9 and 12 months was the huge category, followed by neutered males, followed by intact females, and the least were the spayed females. Which just means that the boys hit adolescence a little harder than the girls did, and the hormones made it even worse. Spaying and neutering doesn't stop adolescence, but it does make it easier to survive.
Yeah. I think it takes the edge off a bit. And then also, if you've started training with your dog at a puppy age,
set up some guidelines.
Yeah, and you can survive adolescence a little easier. They still hit it, and we see them. We always kind of tell the owners, we know what's going on, and explain to them. But it's not full-blown like the ones that come to class. I don't know what to do. He's nuts.
I'm going to kill this dog.
Hi, I have an 18-month-old German Shepherd that's never been to any training, and now he's driving me crazy. My wife wants me to give him away. Can you help me? Yeah, but it's going to take some work.
There's no magic wand.
Exactly.
And the other key thing I like, well, you say it too. Remember, it's not personal.
Exactly.
Your dog doesn't hate you. Your 16-year-old may stomp their feet and say, I hate you, your rules don't make any sense, and run out of the room. Your puppy dog's going to do something similar in their own way.
But just like your teenager really doesn't hate you, your teenager hates the rules, hates the guidelines, hates the restrictions. They don't hate you personally, even though they say they do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then you can go through, you have a shorter time span to go through adolescence with a dog than you do a child.
Right. Spoken as the mother of a 17-year-old.
I'll go through all my dog's adolescence again, and she'll still be in her adolescence.
Right. Hey. And the other big difference is with kids, we're trying to teach them to be independent and to leave home.
And dogs,
was it you who got the gift of
luggage? My folks gave me luggage when when I graduated from high school. They gave me a complete set of luggage. Said bye.
There's a hint for you. Well, with the dogs, we actually want them to stay with us.
Yes.
Right.
So it's a bit of a conflict.
And the training, as Petra said, if you start it hopefully before the adolescence, you can teach your dog to be compliant with you. If you start the training during adolescence, if you hear this podcast and go, aha, maybe that's what's going on with my dog, it's still not too late. It's just going to be a little more challenging. But what you want to do is you want to teach your dog to want to be a good dog.
Right.
You want to build compliance with him. Mm-hmm. Don't fight him. If you fight him, you're going to butt heads, and it's not going to be fun at all.
Of course, there is a little bit of the backlash the other way, in that people that have started early, working with their dogs, they get used to the dogs being compliant. the dogs hit adolescence about the time that people are going, gee, they've earned some extra freedom now.
Yes.
And then they're shocked.
When the dog runs away and ignores them.
But he's always had a really good come. Well, he won't for the next 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or so. One of our trainers, her dog is just entering adolescence. I had to go down and put my arm around her shoulder and say, this is just a little taste. He's just entering adolescence. Take a deep breath. You got about 6 months to go through, but stay the course.
Actually, several of our trainers have adolescents right now.
Yeah, there's a few. Yep. Or the ones that you try to explain, don't let him off leash if you're out there when taking a walk in the field.
But
or
he's
someplace.
always good.
He's always by my side. And I'm like, and he's, 9 months now? He won't be.
Yeah. Puppies are genetically programmed to follow an adult. That's how they live. That's how they survive. You see Mama Wolf on the Discovery Channel or Animal Planet with the pups following in her footsteps.
Uh-huh.
They're not on a leash. They're following
They're following
Exactly.
her.
Exactly.
And if you have a baby puppy, he does the same thing. He follows behind you. That's his instinct.
I've never had to use a leash because he's always followed me.
But then adolescence hits, and the puppy goes, ha! I'm big, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't have to follow anymore. And people are shocked.
Yeah.
But it's the natural way.
And they react and he doesn't love me anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
It's not personal. As Kate said, it's not personal. Something else to keep in mind with adolescence, and something that another one of our mantras, a tired puppy is a happy puppy. A tired adolescent is a happy adolescent. And the owner of a tired adolescent will be a happier owner. Exercise is a good thing. Tire that adolescent puppy out every single day.
A lot of them are like pressure cookers. I mean, their bodies, their mind development, everything is telling them, get out there and see what you can do.
Do something.
Push everything to the limit.
Yes.
And we're going, hey, mellow out, cool down, I want to watch TV.
Yeah.
And then the pressure builds up.
Yep.
So go ahead and bleed all that pressure off. Let them release it in a good way.
Yep.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
FTD's network of over 40,000 florists around the world have been creating beautiful handcrafted arrangements for 100 years. Each arrangement is delivered the same day and backed by FTD's 7-day satisfaction guarantee. For a century, people have trusted their most important occasions to the flower experts at FTD.
Since Pet Life Radio is all about puppy dogs and flowers, our listeners, that's you, can get a 20% discount on your order. Just go to fluorop.com and use the code DOGGYDOG at checkout. FLEUROP.com. Code word DOGGYDOG.
Hello? Danica, where have you been?
Oh, Grandma, I've been busy, racing, GoDaddy girl.
Oh, I built my own online store with GoDaddy.
Really? Let me see. Grandma'sAuction.com. Hey, are those Grandpa's golf clubs?
Grandma needs her bingo money.
Use promo code DOGGY10, DOGGY, the number 10, and get a .com domain name for just $7.49 at GoDaddy.com. If you ask the question, what do I want? What do I need? I'll take affection. I really should mention I need time, I need love, I crave attention. Listen to waiting by the door. With shaking tails and happy hearts, and running circles round the floor. That's always when the party starts for me. They are my friends, they are my children, they are the furry scooters and kids. They are my family, they understand me. That's how I love my
and welcome to The Family Pet on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Colleen Safford. Each week we'll focus on different topics: child pet safety, child pet training, just how to make an appropriate pet selection for your family. All of these things will be covered in each one of our episodes. So we hope that you will join us at The Family Pet on Pet Life Radio.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. Today we're talking about adolescence, and another thing that people need to keep in mind is even if you haven't gone to a formal dog training class, hopefully you've established some household rules. If you don't want the puppy on the furniture, you don't want the puppy on the bed, enforce those rules. And if that adolescent gets up on the bed or gets up on the sofa, let him drag a leash around, and when he gets up, get him off. Don't change the rules just because he's pushing you.
One of my favorite philosophical sayings in dog training is, you're going to close all the doors you don't want your dog to go through, leaving only open the one you want them to go through, so you can say, yay, what a smart dog you are. But then the details, the devil's always in the details. How do you close the doors? The leash is a great way to do that.
See, umbilical cord between you and the dog. We have so many people who come to class who go, he won't listen to me. He grabs my dirty underwear and he's running up and down the hallway and bouncing off the sofa.
And I can't catch him.
And he just, I know he's having fun, but he's tormenting me. But if he has a leash on, then as he goes by, you step on the leash, you stop him, you take the underwear away, say, give, thank you. Now here, play with your toy instead. Good toy! Yeah!
You close the door to the running chase game, which is exciting, but you open the door to the play with your own toy.
And then you go back to the bedroom where he got the dirty underwear, you put the dirty underwear where it belongs, and you close that bedroom door.
Literally, in that case.
Literally, yes. Yes. Prevent problems so they don't turn into bad habits. Prevention is wonderful.
And if you think of adolescence as a time of testing the rules to see if they apply to that particular individual, then the more secure the rules are,
yes,
the easier the individual can relax into them.
Yes.
But if they're mushy, if they get away with them sometimes, then they're going to have to keep going back and checking.
You know, and I know one thing I also tell the students is consistency. Don't just get frustrated. Okay, forget it. Yeah. Everyone's frustrated, and the dog's like, yes, I got away with it.
I pushed hard enough, and she gave in.
So it's like, the ones that goes, we were doing a leash length sit stay, and they did so good, and now he breaks every time. Well, let's go back to the beginning. How about just doing it a foot away? At least you're reinforcing, you're being consistent, and he knows he can't get away with it. And eventually work your way out to the end of the leash again.
Because all of a sudden you've got a different dog now.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotionally, physically, mentally, they're different during their teenage years.
Yes.
They have to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So I always just don't think your dog went bad and give up on him.
You're kind of starting over with a new dog that kind of remembers some training.
Mm-hmm. And this is always short-lived. You guys will survive it. Just remember that. You'll survive it. Shorter than a teenager.
Well, we're talking about adolescence. Let's talk also about some of the changes the puppy goes through, because it's not just that he's testing you with rules, but physically he's changing too. The chest deepens and widens. He gets some shoulders.
How many of these have we seen that the butt part is higher than the shoulders?
Oh,
the
yeah.
hips are higher than the shoulders. You're like, growth spurt.
Yep. The puppy coat changes. We were looking at one of the puppies in class the other day. He's down the spine. The adult coat starts coming in on the spine first, and then it goes down the shoulders and then down the hips. And you can see the fuzzy puppy coat with the adult coat coming in on top. So the coat changes. And of course, depending on the breed, the puppy teeth, they start losing their puppy teeth 4 to 5 months. And of course, those are always wonderful when they disappear because they're so sharp. But then while the puppy's getting his adult teeth in, that's teething.
All over.
All over.
But with a bigger, stronger puppy.
Right?
Yeah.
And long
stronger
about
jaw,
8 or
bigger
9 months when he hits adolescence is when those big molars are coming in.
And that can make for a cranky puppy.
That can make for a cranky puppy. He can have an upset tummy. He can even have a fever. Just like kids when they're getting those teeth in.
Correlation with the fear period?
Right. They go through a fear period at 4 to 5 months of age. They're teething. Yeah, I mean, we're talking, this poor puppy can lose his little mind.
So I didn't want to concentrate on something like a sit-stay.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the hormones moving, my teeth are hurting.
But then on the other hand, their stamina also increases.
Yes.
You know, you always say puppies have the attention span of a gnat. Okay, maybe now it's a fly. A little more.
At some point during adolescence, not in the early part of adolescence, but at some point during adolescence, you'll see him start to make better decisions. Maybe he'll look at the kitchen trash can instead of automatically rating it. He'll go, I wonder if I should.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, he may still get it at that point, but he's starting to think about things, and that's what we want. We want him to think. We see a lot of them start testing their protective instincts.
Yeah.
And we like to discourage that.
This is mine.
Yeah.
This is mine now. I'm big enough and I have bigger teeth. I could defend it.
Yeah.
And it's all the way from the property to the owner.
The car.
The car. I mean, we've seen
and it's usually a good idea to discourage it at that point, even if you want the dog to be protective as an adult. In adolescence, he doesn't have the judgment yet to know what to protect and what not to protect. So it's usually a good idea to let him know, hey, that's enough. I can handle it right now. And then later, when he's 2 to 3 years old, if you want him to be protective, then he's better able to determine that. We also see the puppies going through a stage where they're bonding more with their owner.
For good and bad.
Yeah.
I always see two sides.
Well, go ahead, elaborate on that.
Well, I was kind of pre-warning my puppy class about dogs playing the gender card.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So the female dog's cozying up to the dad in the family, the human dad in the family, and basically, again, it's a time of transition. It's when teenagers of all species are trying to find a mate.
Yeah.
And it's not sexual, but as much as it is, who is going to be my partner?
Yes.
And so the female dogs will tend to play up more to the guy in the family, and the male dogs to the woman in the family.
And we see that in class, and we just giggle, and then we try to explain it to the owner. It was the one gentleman with his German Shepherd.
Yes.
She loves his daddy, her daddy. She really does.
She loves him lots.
Mom could leave and go away.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another woman in the house.
Yep. And sometimes even when we as us dog trainers know it well, it still happens. My boys love me. I love my boys. I do like my boy Aussies. When we had the female Aussies at home, they loved Paul. Dax, I did all of Dax's training. I showed her to her obedience titles.
Yeah, Dax would show you where to go.
And when Dad was home, when Paul was home, if she could have given me the finger, she would have. I'd say, come on, Dax, let's go outside. And she'd lean and look at Paul and go, with Bambi eyes, do I have to?
And she was just so expressive with that. I saw it a lot of times, and I'm just thinking, oh, crud. Liz.
And unfortunately, Paul would put an arm around her and go, she doesn't have to go outside.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Then comes Liz's arm, reaching as far from the other side of the room.
You know, the
that dog.
superhero with the elastic arm. Zap, dog outside.
That's how I said, out, boom.
So as good a trainer as your husband is and is knowledgeable about dogs, he still fell for the Bambi eyes.
And I freely admit I fall for my boys too. And you do with Walter.
I do. And it is, I do love my girl too. And it's possible to have
yes.
Oh yeah.
Same sex, different species, whatever.
Sure.
It's possible for a woman to love a girl dog, but
Kes and I had a wonderful relationship.
Yeah.
Ursa thought I was stupid, but you know,
She liked you though.
She liked me. She just thought she was
stupid.
She just thought she was handicapped with a very stupid owner. You can't have a big ego when your dog is smarter than you are.
But I sometimes see hurt feelings in like private training or in talking to couples.
Yes.
Well, you know, but I do everything for the dog, and then he comes home and she'll do anything for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's how old is she? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Until they mature.
It's Mother Nature's way. Yep.
It's a fun time. There was a time when my little black and fuzzy Walter Cockapoo was going through his adolescence that I realized that not only myself, but most of it, he was such a busy adolescent.
None of us said his name in a positive tone of voice. And Kate brought me up short on that because I hadn't realized it at the time.
I taught myself too. I realized
But every single time we said his name, it was Walter.
What are you doing now?
Right.
No, stop it. Get it out.
Yeah.
Walter.
And that's...
my name was attached sometimes from Kate, too. Walter, and then she looked at me, it's your fault, Petra.
Well, since Petra found him as a puppy...
Well, she chose him out of the litter.
Yeah. But if he'd have gone to a regular pet home, he'd have ended up in the shelter.
Yeah.
He would have ended up... But
you chose him and said, I want to watch this dog grow up because he's so neat. Here, you take him.
Yeah. I remember her saying that. Yes, I do.
There's something about him in his eyes, right?
Yeah.
I had to remind myself, this is a stage. We will go through. We will come through it faster. If I say his name, Walter, now I'll kill you. Thank you, good boy.
Yeah, and that was hard. There were still a lot of times his name came out of my mouth very negatively. It was, damn, I'm glad you're not my dog.
He was a very imaginative, ambitious, busy adolescent. And he's still that as an adult. He still does it.
And look at what a wonderful dog owner and trainer you are. And trick trainer. See, he's brought you.
He's raised my level.
Yes, he has. Yep. So, those of you with dogs between, say, 9 and 12 months of age is typically the worst of it, but it can start at 7 to 8 months, and it can last up until 2 years, as I can tell you personally. Adolescence isn't personal. Your dog is not doing it to you personally. This is a natural stage of their development. It's a challenging stage of development. They can go from a wonderful puppy to a
punk rock teenager?
Yeah, a punk rock teenager. That's a good way to put it.
In there.
Yeah. Yep. And unfortunately, sometimes the smarter the puppy, the harder adolescence is, as Walter can contest, as Kate can.
As he's the poster child for that.
Yes. And I'm seeing with Archer, he's not being bad, but he's thinking a lot. And sometimes he stands in front of me and just stares at me, and I go, oh, no. Oh, no.
They're thinking, what's the loophole in the rule?
Yes, exactly. But as Petra said, they do grow out of it, and they grow out of it faster than the two-legged ones do.
Exactly.
And that's it. It's a natural, needed, necessary, have to go through transitional zone. In some ways, I actually feel sorry. I've met a few dogs that sort of got locked into that zone.
They never grew out of it.
They never grew, whether their parents, their two-legged parents, didn't give them enough feedback, and so the things that they did during adolescence became their habits.
Yes. But that brings up another good point. Work them out of it.
Yeah.
Like you did with Walter. You did trick training. Continue with their obedience training and teach them new things. Do trick training. Introduce them to agility. And even if you don't want to compete, do it for fun. If you've got a herding dog, introduce them to herding. If you've got a draft dog, teach them what a wagon is and a cart.
Part of being an adult is finding your job in this world.
Yes.
Whether it's pay or volunteer, whatever. Finding what you do. So give your dog that.
Definitely.
Give them their role.
Try different things, and don't try to force your dog into something either.
Yes.
That you notice, they're not quite liking this. Try something different.
listen to our podcast where we talk about the Nina Ottoson Smart Dog toys. Those are wonderful for adolescents because they can be a busy dog and just fuss with it, but they have to think. It's using their brain. If anything helps bring the dog from adolescence to adulthood, more than just simply time, it's giving him a job to do, keeping his mind busy, keeping his body tired, and just keep working with him.
And help him make the right decisions so those become habits.
Right.
On
Definitely.
into adulthood.
Definitely.
Well, we make it sound easy.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds
we know it's not.
It sounds like a lot of work too, though.
It is.
With an adolescent at home right now.
The rewards are so wonderful.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. Once you get past this, get over that hill, the rewards are endless.
And I see that with Archer already. He's such a wonderful service dog for Paul. And he's turning into an extraordinary therapy dog. He goes to the Veterans Center, the Veterans Administration Center, with the Wounded Warriors, and he's an extraordinary therapy dog. So as silly as he is when he's playing, and as silly as he is when he's just standing in the living room staring at me, I see the future.
Yeah.
And he's going to be an absolutely wonderful, wonderful dog.
Yeah. And that's what we hope for all of you with your dogs.
Yeah.
You can look into and see it. The light at the end of the tunnel is not a train coming the other way.
It's the sun shining on your adult dog.
That's great.
Walking by your side. And on that note, I think we're going to let you go. So take care and give your dog a hug from us.
Bye-bye.
Bye there.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.